It's Tim Albright with an AV Network Tech Talk talking about Shure and STEM Audio coming together. With me is my old buddy, Mr. Jim Schanz from Shure Audio. Welcome, sir.
Hi, Tim. Thank you.
Also, a young man that I met a couple years ago at Infocom, Jacob Marash from STEM Audio. Welcome, sir.
Hi, Tim. Nice to be here. Hopefully one day I'll be your good friend, too.
I've known Jim entirely too long, so you've got to get the gray hair with me and all that jazz, so you'll get there. Real quickly, last November, you guys came together, Shure purchased STEM Audio and brought the two together. Jim, we'll start with you on this. For somebody who's not familiar with STEM, but they are familiar with Shure, why does this move make sense for Shure? Why does it make sense for dealers? And why does it make sense for customers?
Good question, Tim. Why it makes sense first off, for integrators from our perspective. Shure has had a line of MXA, MX series ecosystem where the product works very well in complex rooms, in rooms that need some acoustic help perhaps, and you could really get in under the hood and make configuration changes. You could really dial it in to maximize the audio performance, which is fantastic, and our customers love it and integrators love it. However, what we were kind of missing, I would say, from our portfolio is the smaller room deployment, the mid-size room deployment, and we recognized that STEM Audio had a very unique approach to solving problems for quick and easy access or quick and easy setup, deployment that can happen very quickly for integrators and also for end users should they have the ability to do so. So we just thought it was a really unique ecosystem, and we felt it really provided our customers, end users, and integrators a wider range of products and options for their needs.
Yeah. Jacob, we mentioned the fact that we met a couple of years ago at Infocom. You had a growing customer base, fan base. From you guys' standpoint and your dealers and your customer standpoint, why does this move make sense?
Well, I think for us, it's very critical to be able to get the solution out to the end user as fast as possible and as efficiently as possible. And Shure absolutely helps us out with that. It's no secret Shure is one of the biggest names out there. They have a lot of credibility. Customers know what they get when they buy Shure. And I think we had a pretty good idea, and I hope that our end users agree that we acted on it well. But what we're missing is that backbone that Shure can offer. And I think that's just another way for us to give our customers what they need faster and better.
All right. Jim, both of these brands talk about ecosystems an awful lot, right? That's Shure has been doing that for years, and especially the last probably like 5 or 6 years with different product lines, software now, STEM almost from the very beginning of their existence. They started talking about ecosystems. Talk for a second, Jim, about each of your approaches to kind of that ecosystem conversation and how each of your different approaches to development, how that can expand each of yours, kind of user base for each product line.
Well, I think, Tim, ecosystem is one of those buzzwords presently in our industry, and rightly so. The importance of high quality AV conferencing equipment has only grown in the last 15 months or so, and we recognize and we listen to our customers from the installer base saying we need something that's a little bit easier to set up. We need something that kind of talks together and provides added value when you do use a lot of the same product from the same brand. So we just felt like we wanted to provide our customers with kind of a one-stop shop for microphones, DSP, loudspeakers, control, and we feel like we accomplished that with our Microflex ecosystem, and that also includes wireless. Shure is very well known for having a lot of different wireless options as well, and with all those solutions on the Microflex ecosystem, as I mentioned before, it really provides an opportunity to get in under the hood and fine-tune the systems to provide just an amazing and pristine precision type audio performance. And of course, STEM was built on the ecosystem, whereas Shure kind of backed into it a little bit. After listening to our customers, STEM had a very unique approach to going to customers first and developing this ecosystem idea from the ground up. And one of the things that I'm really, really excited about is learning from the guys at STEM. They've been able to do something that we have had. We had ideas and designs to do something similar, but they were able to do it, and they were able to do it quickly. And I'm really excited for, as we move forward, looking at how the two technologies or the two ecosystems might one day talk to one another. I think our ability to, our engineering prowess and our backbone, as Jacob mentioned, plus their creativity and their being quick to market and their flexibility, I think is really going to be a fantastic match for both companies.
All right, now Jacob, from your guys' side, how do you look at each of your unique approaches to development? How can you use that to kind of expand both bases?
I think the general message, the strong message here is that we want customers to be able to come to Shure for all of their solutions. And STEM has great value add specifically for the end user. I think we have a lot of value add to help integrators do things better and quicker, and for what we consider organic end users to try to dabble and do it on their own as well if they need to. But there's no doubt that there's a missing link that STEM doesn't cover. I mean, STEM is not everything for everyone. And Shure is the leader when it comes to precision, very high-end, complex rooms. So us being able to come with both of these solutions that are working now in parallel, not only are we able to offer a solution for every customer in any space, but we're also able to offer a single customer a solution for different types of rooms that might require a different path. And I think there's a lot of strength in that, and that helps us a lot. We didn't have that offering beforehand when we'd go approach customers. And based on what Jim said, it's pretty clear that that's the same case for Shure. So there's this element of synergy here now that as a whole, these two portfolios coming together are worth a lot more than the sum of them separately.
Well, and Jim, let's pull on that for a second. What Jacob said about we can offer several different solutions to the same customer. What does that look like? I mean, what does that look like from a dealer's perspective, where we're talking about, and we'll get into back to work here in a second, but maybe you're talking to a customer and they have several different needs throughout their space. How does a dealer then talk to you guys and say, okay, Fortune 500, Fortune 100 customer, these are the solutions, depending on the type of room you've got.
Right. If we consider kind of a global deployment, for example, of a large multinational corporation, the types of customers that a lot of us and a lot of integrators are, going after, they've got a number of different types of rooms. If you just look at Shure as an organization, we've got boardrooms, conference rooms, huddle rooms, we've got the gambit, and and what's great about this is Shure had a pretty good success with kind of the mid and high tier rooms, the ones that the budgets are going to be larger, the ones where you need a little bit more flexibility. I keep talking about getting under the hood and being able to fine tune the systems, and that's great for those larger rooms, the C-level suites, the rooms where they just need absolute incredible audio performance. However, from an integrator perspective, if they have a global rollout, if they've got a very large opportunity, they also have a number of very small rooms, a number of medium-sized rooms. You don't require the full, pristine audio, precision audio that Shure provides, and you also have to install them sometimes very quickly. And with STEM, I mean, it's so easy to install and get connected. I think even you could do it, Tim. So I think, by and large,
Be silly here.
So it does provide an integrator, being able to go through a number of rooms very quickly and spending more time with the larger rooms where they maybe need a programmer to help with or what have you. So having this one place to shop for all of it is fantastic. However, something that I don't want to miss is, Shure has a global footprint. We've got 30-odd offices now everywhere. We've got service and support in just about every country that we're supposed to do business in, and I don't want to lose that side. Where STEM Audio, based on their size, did not quite have that global footprint. So we're really able to support some of the global integrators or the integrators who are part of global alliances and or in customers. So that's a real benefit to having STEM and Shure as part of one company.
Yeah, absolutely. Jacob, you mentioned synergies and coming together. Take a look at both of your companies and the strengths that both of you have. How can each company like, kind of leverage the strengths of the other one to kind of become bigger and better than they are today?
I think Jim actually alluded to it. I heard Jim earlier talking about them learning from us, which blows my mind. Um, we are improving on a weekly basis based on our exposure to Shure and the way they do things. They've been around for 96 years, and there's a good reason for it. And I think that part of what makes us great is that we're young, we're energetic, we're quick, we're dynamic, but we absolutely lose something in the process, right? You can't be all of that and also have proper procedures and solve some problems that end users do require a need from a manufacturer of audio products. And we are absolutely learning from them and we're getting better on a daily basis. So I think the solution that you're seeing STEM right now is much better than what it was if we weren't have been acquired 6 months back. And in the same place, again, Jim already mentioned it. We're giving our value add to Shure. We're enabling them to, while they're a very customer centric company, to be able to respond to the customer a lot quicker with their needs and wants. And that's very important in today's environment, right? Things are changing very quickly, and customer needs are very, very dynamic.
Yeah, absolutely. Jim, we mentioned we've talked about offices and stuff like that. As we're recording this video, a number of organizations are getting back to work very slowly, different depending on where you are geographically. How can you guys kind of leverage the strengths and the technologies of both companies here, and both lines, one company, but both lines, as customers and clients are getting back to work?
I think it's during the past 15 months or so, I think we've all realized just how important high quality audio is to collaborating and supporting the hybrid work from home type of world that we're faced with now and will continue to be faced with. And we've all talked about what things are gonna look like as things open up again, and it's clear that it will be a hybrid workforce. And with that, the rooms that you have in the corporate office, for example, they need to be outfitted with much better audio because you have a lot more people working remotely. Similarly, you've got a lot of folks at home who need better audio to connect to corporate. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention, that Shure also has a number of USB microphones, podcast microphones. I believe you're a fan of one, Tim, as well. We have a lot of options for both the home and the office. And going back to what we were saying before, just about STEM and Shure we're able to leverage both brands with this new kind of world is, again, we need better audio in many more places, and STEM audio provides an opportunity for ease of use, ease of install, giving customers just what they need for that particular room and really good audio. And then on the flip side, if you need, multi-purpose rooms that now need to be split off into smaller sections for social distancing, and now you need more audio in one big room, for example, and maybe some more configurability, then that's where the Shure solutions might come into play. So it's, again, we're going to harp on it, but it's about providing options, and it's providing flexibility and being a one-stop shop that we're really excited about.
No, there's nothing wrong with options. And just for the record, this is a SM7B. Sure, SM7B. Absolutely, I'm a fan of it. Jacob, same question. From your standpoint and the customers you've been talking to, what are the areas and the technologies that you and everybody at Shure and STEM and the entire line can use to help customers as they all kind of get back to the office, whether that's 100% of the time or that hybrid model?
I think Jim did a great job answering, and I don't want to give the exact same answer. We have products that are very, very well oriented towards the conferencing space, as well as some USB devices for individuals use, like our Duet. But I'll take a different spin. I think the specific value add of STEM is our ability to fit into many different size and shaped rooms. And I think, that's something we're going to be seeing a lot returning to the office. Everybody's talking about how conferencing spaces are going to be changing. They're going to be changing size, shape, and that flexibility and diversity is critical. And I think STEM products do a very, very good job with that. Not to mention the ability to roll out installations quicker. I mean, we saw a huge uptick in STEM interest in buying when all universities, at least here in the United States, were trying to roll out some kind of solution for their hybrid classrooms really quickly. And in some cases, AV integrators were overwhelmed and they had to do 200 rooms in a week. STEM is basically geared on being able to do that. Not to mention also allowing IT and AV teams to help out and do some rooms on their own. On the Shure front, we've been very lucky. Hopefully some people listening to this are in some kind of manufacturing industry. They'll know that the last year or so has been a very, very, very rocky year for manufacturers in general. There's different shortages, a lot of stress in the supply chain. And I think if we would have had to do that on our own, it would have been very difficult. So I think Shure's biggest value add is, as a customer, you know that it's a big company with a lot of pedigree, with a lot of connections, and there's a level of stability there that they provide for their products, but they're also now providing for our product line. And that's very critical when you're going to be depending on these products to return your workforce back to the office.
And that's actually a really good point. Yeah, absolutely. Jim, both companies are known for their customer service and the leading in with customers. Talk for a second about that part of your DNA and how each of your companies separately a year ago coming together and how that customer focus can complement one another.
As you mentioned, Tim, Shure has always been customer focused, but our approach over the years has evolved certainly and is different than STEM Audio's approach. And as I mentioned before, we're learning some things, and we've learned from a customer. So STEM has something called customer happiness team, which is kind of above and beyond your typical customer service group, and it's fantastic. And if you ever have an opportunity to interface with them, it's like a concierge type of service for every single customer that's interested in STEM. And when I saw that group, I was immensely jealous because in the United States in particular, which is primarily what we're talking about for the beginning of this rollout, we outsource a lot of our customer service to our independent sales rep force, or we've got customer service here that primarily they're checking on orders, entering orders, expediting where necessary, but just very, very impressed with what they were able to put together with this customer happiness team. The unfortunate part, I guess, is that it's near impossible to scale to the level of business that we do collectively, but there are parts of it that I'm absolutely going to steal, and I think again learn from one another. But it's great because it's a fresh look at something that we've been doing for a long time, and I mean that to me that's one of the biggest value adds that we're going to see with the collective company moving forward.
Yeah, absolutely. Jacob and Jim, we'll wrap up with this. Jacob, we'll start with you as the customer, the customer, as the company got acquired, and now you've hung out with these folks for 6 months. What are you most excited about with this move?
It's the whole process has been very exciting. We knew from day one that we needed this. I keep on saying this in every interview I do. It wasn't an offer that was given to us that we couldn't refuse. We knew that the goal, the mission was to deliver to the end user a solution that solves their pains and their problems, and we were going to do that whatever way possible. STEM is not just a product line; it's an experience. It has to do with customer happiness, which Jim touched upon. And part of that was to be able to give them the channels and the accessibility and the logistics that they want and they deserve. And we just couldn't do that on our own. So if I had to look out in the market, in the industry, and see what company could do the best job at that, there's no doubt in my mind that Shure is it. It has to do everything from just their general attitude towards the customer. We talk about customer happiness, but Shure is a very customer-centric company. Professionalism is very important. Quality of product is very important. Solving issues, it's the best partner for us. And then, a bonus on top of that is there's a cultural fit. You're friends with Jim. You know that one of our biggest core values is not to take ourselves too seriously. We're here to, at the end of the day, create good products, provide solutions, and to have fun. And I think the folks at Shure do a good job at aligning with us on that front. So it's been a great experience. And I'm not just saying that because they're paying me to say that right now.
All right, Jim. Jacob obviously doesn't take himself too seriously either. What are you most excited about with this move?
I think it's really being able to just have very long conversations with Jacob and try to keep up with his energy level and try to follow where his mind is going because it's an adventure. Besides that, we when we met with STEM, obviously it was the product that opened the door for us to look at them, and it was the unique direction that they took in order to develop this product line in the ecosystem. But after meeting them, as Jacob mentioned, they don't take themselves too seriously, but they are about being successful. They are about customer focus, and we love that fact. And I'm as I said, I was jealous about their customer happiness team. I'm jealous sometimes about how quickly they can move, being a smaller company. I'm jealous about the creativity that they show sometimes. Not to say that we don't move quickly or we don't have creative folks, but a 96-year-old company that has a bit of infrastructure perhaps cannot move as quickly as our friends at STEM have. So I'm excited to kind of inject some of that energy and creativity and agility into the larger organization because I view the integrated systems part of Shure as kind of a startup as well. We've got the rock and roll production side, and then we've got the consumer audio side, and then our business where we like to consider ourselves learning every day and trying to be lean and agile, but Jacob is going to motivate us, and team is going to motivate us to be even more so. So we're super excited and can't wait to really get this thing up and running, which we're about to.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking forward to it, guys. Thank you guys so much. We'll watch this with very interested. So thank you guys so much. Jacob Marash from STEM Audio. How do people connect with you or STEM Audio?
Easiest way is hit us up on our website, www.stemaudio.com, but we're also available on all the platforms, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, you name it. Just look up STEM Audio.
And Mr. Schanz, thank you so much, sir. How do people connect with you or Shure?
Similar story, Shure.com, all the major platforms. Twitter handle specific for integrated systems is Shure Systems, but we're everywhere you want to be.
All right, thank you so much, Jim. Again, congratulations to both STEM Audio and Shure. For us, for AV Network, go by our website, avnetwork.com. avnetwork.com, you'll find programs like this and a host of others, including all the latest AV news and information. All that and more at avnetwork.com, avnetwork.com.